Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One. And it is Thursday, July the 12th, the year 2018. Let's talk trading. Trading is guessing. Now, there's a lot of people who get their panties in a bunch whenever I say that. But the bottom line is trading is guessing. You're guessing. Price is either going to go one way or the other. It's guessing. Doesn't matter how much analysis you do. In the end, it's guessing. Now, you could say it's educated guessing, but it's still guessing. You could do all the frequency distributions like I do, but it's still guessing because any particular trade is either going to be a winner or a loser, and you don't know. You don't know ahead of time. So you basically enter the trade and you hope for the best. And of course, you employ money and risk management. So in case you guess and price goes against your guess, you only lose what you're willing to lose on that particular trade. So here we go. We've got the yen. It's making new highs here. Monthly high. New monthly high right there. And you can see here it really zoomed up for the week. Look at that. A nice breakout there. Anybody took that trade, simple trade, looking at horizontal lines. And for those of you just tuning in, the gaps filled over the week. And the daily, once again, we had a breakout here. And you see, here's the guessing. So if you were to take this trade right here at this line, and you go, okay, well, I guess it's going to go higher. I think the momentum, look at this huge candle, the momentum's going to push price higher. That would have been a guess. Or if you would have said right here, well, hey, you know what, it has to run out, so I'm going to go short. Well, either way, you could have made money if you guess short here or you guess long there. Could have made money. But it's a guess. Because we don't know what price is going to do after we enter the trade. I mean, right here, this is a guess. You say, price hit the buy zone, so I guess it's going to go higher, and it did. But then here you could have said it almost hit the short zone. You could say, well, I guess it's going to fill that it's going to hit that pivot. I'm going to fade the pivot. And you would have guessed wrong that day. Okay, and you can see we've got rat zone happening here because we've got a nice 70 pip range, over 100 yesterday. What's going on with the yen? It hasn't seen ranges like that in a long time. And when we look at the pivots, you can see here it hit R1 for the day. Once again, missed the pivot. Got a missed pivot here. So you can see we've got two missed pivots so far this month. We're 180 pips away from this pivot. This one right here. So if you're inclined to think, well, maybe over the next week, maybe price will return to here, that'd be a nice short, but that's a guess. See, we've had 4 missed pivots up until this past week on the year. So this could be the 5th, this could be the 6th. It could hang out for a long time. But once again, we don't know. It's only a guess. Just like here, 3 ball, red at the line. There was money to be made. 1 ball, green at the line. There's a little money to be made here. 1 ball, green at the line. Lots of money to be made. But once again, it's only a guess. And so the reason I keep stressing it's a guess gets back to the money and risk management. You see, so when you enter the trade, it's a guess. You don't even have to have confidence in it. It's just like, look, it's a guess. I'm going to do it. It either works out for me or it works out against me. But it's only going to go against me so far because I've got my stop in place. So you make your guess. You can trade. You don't even really need the confidence. You just say, well, I can't, once I put the trade on, I could have all the confidence in the world, but I can't influence the outcome. So this, if you know that, if you can just burn that in your brain, that will give you the ability to take the trade. So if you're trying a new system or you're having trouble with your old system, pulling the trigger, say, well, look, it doesn't matter. I'm going to pull the trigger. The worst that's going to happen is I'm only going to lose, 10 pips or whatever your stop loss is. I'm only going to lose $10 on the trade or $1 on the trade, however, whatever increment you decide. But you can go forward knowing that, hey, let's just do it as an experiment. Maybe the worst thing that'll happen is I'll lose $10 over the course of, so many trades, and I will keep trading until I lose $10, and then I'll stop. So maybe you do a buck a trade. You're doing, a dime a pip, right? So if it goes against you 10 pips, you exit. So you try it again. And you just do that as long as it can. And who knows, you might get to 100 and never lose $10. You might get to 1,000 and never lose $10. Maybe you stay up. And then you go, hey, I've got something here. And then you can increase your lot size. Instead of trading for a dime a pip, then maybe you trade for $1 a pip. But in the meantime, until you get to that point, you just trade. You don't think about it. You go, okay, I've got one ball down here. I got green at the line. I'm going to buy. And then you see what happens. Maybe it comes down here and you stop out. Maybe it comes out to here and you take profit. But that's what you do. You don't worry about it. You're not focused on the result. You're focused on the process of putting that trade on at the right time based on your method, your system, your indicator, and you put your stop in place and you see what happens. So, and you realize that, hey, you're just guessing whether or not it's educated. So, once again, here, green at the line, educated guess, green at the line, educated guess, and you would have made money. Harry hindsight, right? We love old Harry hindsight. Educated guess, it's in the wick zone, it's going to leave the wick zone. In the wick zone, leaves the wick zone. You make money. Educated guess. It's not really a skill. It's really, you're guessing. You're in the upper holo zone. You go short here, you make money. Once again, it's a guess. Because sometimes it could go on to make a new high. Looking at the price action here on the tick chart, you can see there's really not much movement, just a few pips. And here we have the inventory reduction bar right there. Green at the line, green at the line, green at the line, green at the line. You see, money to be made each time. But once again, it's a guess. These are all guesses. All these systems are basically based on guesses, saying, we see patterns. Sometimes we see patterns that really aren't there, but we see them anyway. It's like looking at the clouds and seeing faces or Jesus or sheep or whatever. They're just cloud formations. But our mind organizes these random things and we believe we see patterns, okay? In fact, there was somebody I think it was in their beer. It was like, is this Scooby-Doo? The suds. It was pretty funny, but yeah, it looked like Scooby-Doo. But it's just like, that's just how our minds work. But once again, when it comes to trading, it's It's all guessing. And you see here at the daily, weekly, monthly, open, high, and low lines. Once again, using those as directions with the candle color. It's a guess. And the Einstein line, there you go. Price is going up relative to this point in time. And it continues to go up. You see? And it could also come back down. But it's just like, hey, it's a guess. We know price is going to probably range out of this 5 pip zone here based on when we entered. So if it goes this way, we'll go long. If it goes that way, we go short. I mean, is that a guess? Well, it could hit here and reverse like it did right there. Had we entered it, had we put the line on right there, and it would have won against us. But here, now it's going for us. Once again, it's just a guess. We can't influence the outcome of the trade. So long as you internalize the fact that trading is guessing, that should give you the knowledge to know, okay, it's a guess. I don't know, so I will employ my stop loss, put the trade on, and see what happens. That's it. That's trading. So I hope that helps you guys. And something I need to mention or want to mention. I read something about, basically you want to play to those who applaud you, to those who find value in what you do, and you kind of forget about the naysayers. And then there was something I read about, you have to get like 1,000 people. Well, I think I've got like maybe 100 people watching my videos. So maybe if you guys could pass it along and say, hey, and let's see if I can get my view count up to 1,000 people, because then maybe the word can spread even, much further, much faster. But, the marketplace, tells you the value. But sometimes if people don't know about something, if they don't know about a store or a product, then they're never going to go to that store or buy that product. So not that this is a product, but it's just something I was been thinking about. It's like, yeah, maybe I can see if I can get to 1,000, views per day on average. So if there's any other traders you might want to, say, hey, check out my videos. Would appreciate it. But remember, fellow traders, trading is guessing. So it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So let's get out there and drain the banks today.